Fucking come on! Yes. Yes, boys. Cheers. All the best. Here's to the cup winners. Brilliant. Brilliant performance. Great credit to Ten Hag and his team. Perfect game plan. Very different team to the one I would have set up with. Wouldn't have started Rashford. Play without a striker, but it just worked perfectly. And I thought we did all of the things, the basics that we needed to do well, we did really, really well. There was a heart to the performance. There was a discipline to it. I thought we looked pretty calm, pretty assured. The only way they scored was from let's face it, it was a poor goal. Onana should do so much better. I think we were pretty comfortable, really. I know they were putting a bit more pressure on in the second half, but in the first half, it was predictable. They got the ball, they moved it about. They've got that kind of lurking thing about them, City. It feels like they're just going to pounce at any time. But we just looked really comfortable. And we defended them so well. And then we got a little bit of confidence. We started to get a bit of a few counter attacks. We started to hurt them a little bit, and you could see the confidence in the team growing. And as I said before the game, they're not that good. You can hurt them. Obviously, a little bit of luck with the goal. Brilliant ball from Dalot. Their left back's made a massive mistake, but Garnacho's gambled. Fair play to him, and he's obviously got a tap in. Fantastic. But what was great is we didn't then retreat. We carried on playing. We carried on going. We carried on trying to hurt them. And the second goal is just a thing of absolute beauty. A wonderful goal. Fantastic ball from Rashford. Garnacho, brilliant. Bruno's pass, just world class, brilliant. And obviously, so pleased for Mainu. How fitting. Two young boys from our academy. I think they both played in that youth cup winning team, didn't they? A couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. They get the 2 goals on a cup final day. Fantastic. That's what it's all about. That's what Man United's all about. And we were, as I say, we were comfortable. Doku came on, and for me, I thought Wan-Bissaka was brilliant. He did cause problems, but Wan-Bissaka was superb today. He just gave us a bit of a different problem to what we had before. I wish it was a betting man. I said 2-1. I wish I'd have put it on because I don't know what odds I'd have got for 2-1, but it was heart ruling head massively. I wish I'd have been wrong and it was 2-0 because that last few minutes were bloody hard, really, really nerve wracking. But we got through. There was a spell in, I think it was kind of near the start of the second half, where for the first time, it's too late probably for Ten Hag, but the first time in ages, I thought we've got players who are passing the ball about, not necessarily hurting City, but just ball retention, just passing it about under pressure. We can't do that generally, but you saw confidence, you saw togetherness. You can't underestimate Martinez and the impact he has on that team. I think we look so much more confident. His presence makes such a massive difference to our team. And that's a great compliment to him. It's not just what he does. I think it's the air of the aura he has, the confidence he gives to other players around him, the fight, the thing at the end when he got brought off and he's having a bit of it. He's a hard lad. He's a winner. We've missed him so much this season. I thought he was really impactful today. I don't normally do player ratings or anything like that. I'm not going to necessarily rate players, but I'll just go through each individual player. I thought Onana made 2 good saves, but the goal's a really, really poor goal to concede. And it could have cost us. It's shocking. I thought in the second half he was too quick to punt it upfield. I know they were pressing a little bit more, but I liked in the first half we were quite calm in and around our box. We were trying to play out from the back, and his long range passing is really good. But in the second half, I didn't think it was. It was just aimless, not to any of our players really, and I thought we conceded possession too easily through that. Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me is close to being man of the match. I thought he was fantastic today. He barely put a foot wrong. He made so many interventions, so much concentration needed in that second half up against Doku, and I thought he was brilliant. A couple of really risky challenges in the box, but as usual, he got that right. I've said it before, I would not be letting him go. I think Wan-Bissaka's got so much about him as a player that considering other players and other weaknesses we've got in our squad. Varane, steady Eddie, didn't put foot wrong, gets his head to things. Like I said before, magnetic. The ball's like a magnet, so he's like a magnet to the ball. Super. Martinez, mentioned before, I thought he was brilliant. Didn't want to come off. He came off probably 5-10 minutes after Ten Hag wanted him to, because he wanted to stay on. We need more of that. Dalot, good in tight situations. I thought used the ball well, started a few attacks, made one pretty decent dynamic run which Onana nearly spotted. His pass in the build up to the first goal. Had a really good season. I must say, I didn't think he had what it took at United. Maybe he hasn't, but he's had a superb season. So another good performance from him today. Amrabat, brilliant. I think we saw today the Amrabat that we saw at Fiorentina in the World Cup for Morocco, because he's just strong as fuck, and he covers ground really, really quickly. He's aggressive. He played with confidence, and you're thinking, why has he not played more this season? Why has he not been playing in that position? I thought he looked comfortable in that position today. I thought he broke up City attacks. I thought he was really, really good today. I was pleased with him. Brilliant performance from him. Mainu, what a kid, what a star in the making. I mean, his first touch is always positive. It's always gets it moving forward. His ball retention in tight situations, his ability to kind of wriggle out of tight situations, and of course the goal. Just so proud of him. He's an academy product. He's a very humble young man. He went to one of the schools that I work in, and a couple of weeks ago he was there, and I saw him probably about 6 feet away from him. I didn't speak to him or anything, but he went to that school, and all the teachers said what a lovely lad he was and everything, and they were hugging him and getting pictures of him, but really down to earth, really grounded. And yeah, delighted for him. He's only so young. When you see him in real life, you're like, Jesus, he looks like a kid. He looks like a kid, because I suppose he is really. But yeah, what a performance today! Proper man's performance. Excellent today. McTominay is McTominay. He's a limited player. He hasn't got an array of talents, but he grafts. He tries his best. I thought in the second half, in particular, was it the second half, or maybe more towards the end of the first half, he got a bit of confidence on the ball. He used the ball a little bit better than he normally does. He took it in tight situations. The theme of what I'm saying actually is he took it in tight situations. City close you down. There's 2 or 3 players around you, and I thought we coped with that really well today, and he was one of them that did cope well. His movement caused them problems and took players away, which left space for others, which was good. Bruno, captain's performance. Well, I was pissed off when he tried that 50-yard lob at the end. It's just like, just keep the fucking ball, Bruno. Jesus Christ, we need to see the game out. I'm not sure why he tried that, but his pass for Mainu's goal was amazing. Again, ball retention. Worked his bollocks off as he always does. Was in the referee's ear all game. We need more of that. Just a winner, and brilliant. Delighted for him to lift the FA Cup. Rashford I didn't think he looked up for it against Walker. Walker was winning 60-40s in Rashford's favour, but as the game wore on, I felt he influenced it more. I think his confidence grew. He looked more. He's not played a lot, has he? So I suppose he got up to the pace of the game as the game went on, and his pass in the build-up for the second goal was superb. And he was busy, and he did all right. Again, every ball that was in the air, he didn't jump for it. I don't think he was great today by any means, but he played his part for the team. His movement caused them problems, even if it never ended up materialising into anything. I thought his movement caused them problems. Garnacho, just a constant menace, and the thing is with Garnacho, if you're a defender, you can't take your eye off him, which then, particularly in the first half, left gaps elsewhere. There was a few times we didn't actually always use it, but Wan-Bissaka could have been in on the outside a few times. Obviously, he was involved in the build-up to the second goal, scored the first goal, and he's just matured this season into a player that is a big player for us. I think he's got a lot to learn. I think he can still do so much better, but yeah, I think he was decent today. Is that everyone that started the game? I think so. And then the subs, Hoyland. I mean, when he had that scrap towards the end of the game where he just held the ball up, that was massive because it just gives us an out ball. He showed fantastic strength. Did he win as a free kick? He's in tears at the end. You see what it means to him. He's a red. I really like Hoyland, and I think he shouldn't be the main striker at United, but seems a real good egg and did make a little bit of influence. Obviously, Mount came on very late. Lindelof, did he come on with Mount? I think he did, didn't he? Johnny Evans didn't have an awful lot to do, but what he had to do, he did all right. I think that covers the subs. And Erik ten Hag, hats off to him. He comes into the game. You can see by the questions at the end of the game with both BBC and ITV asked him, what's the future hold. I think with the BBC, he kind of said, I don't know. With ITV, he said, I don't doubt I'll be here, but he didn't say it in that kind of like, I have no doubts about the fact I'll be here. I think it might be something lost in translation. It sounded more like I don't have any doubts in myself, and then kind of almost gave a little bit of a reason as to why he should stay. But he's executed a game plan today that worked perfectly well, and the odds were against us massively today. Guardiola's never lost at Wembley. He's rarely ever lost a final in his life. You're up against a machine. City had won 7 games in a row. They've not lost since December. That is a phenomenal win for United today. It really is, and I can't sing the praises highly enough. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty, but it doesn't need to be pretty. In a game like that, you've got to win. You're in the FA Cup final, and you've got to find a way. There's a lot of noise before the game, a lot of noise surrounding the manager, and he has delivered massively today. And I'm really pleased for him. Whether he stays, goes, whatever, I'm really, really pleased for him. I don't know what happens now as we're speaking. Potentially something could be announced or whatever. I don't know. But I've never had any ill feeling towards Ten Hag, and I'm thrilled for him that he's masterminded his team to win this competition this season, and I'm delighted for us as a club. It's obviously sweet that we beat City, that they've not done a double, because that was another thing that I didn't want them to do. Of course, that we never quite managed it. We nearly did it in 94, 95. We nearly won the double, but we didn't quite have enough. We won 2 in 3 years between 94 and 96. But it's just nice to bloody their noses, as I mentioned in a video before the game. They've had too much go their way in the last few years, and it's really, really refreshing that even as underdogs today, we went out there and we had a game plan and we made them look very, very ordinary. And you saw with Walker when he's kicking off about Martinez leaving the pitch. They don't like getting beat because it doesn't happen very often. We were probably a bit like that in our pomp, but I just thought he looked like a spoiled little shit, Walker. And they didn't offer a lot. Their kid that came on, Alvarez, he missed a couple of decent chances. Obviously, Haaland hit the bar, but it wasn't like wave after wave of attack where you're thinking, "Oh shit, we're in trouble here." The goal changed it. The goal was a freak goal, really. There's nothing about City's play really. It was just a hit and hope from someone cutting inside, and the keepers made a balls up of it. But we were excellent today at what we needed to be excellent at, and we saw it through. How many times this season have we collapsed? Have we fallen short? And we saw it through on the biggest of occasions. At the end, just amazing. It's Wembley's there for winners, isn't it? And when it pans to Sir Alex singing "Glory, Glory, Man United," wonderful day for the boss, as we still call him, as Gary Neville still calls him, to Roy Keane's annoyance. Rasmus in tears, just great scenes. Nothing else to say about it really. Just great scenes and a great day for our club. I have to say I've got one eye on what's going to happen next. What's coming next with Ten Hag, because that is big. It's significant to think that maybe there'll be a change in that position. If it's his last game, he goes out in a blaze of glory. The players, like I said before the game, they didn't use it as an excuse. I thought they might, and they haven't used it as an excuse. They've really, really performed today. And there's some really good moments, lovely moments with him and his players. And you know, at the end there, where he's having a word in their ear, he looks like a man that knows his fate is sealed. I have to say that. And he hasn't done enough this season. I'm not going to get into it loads. I've said what I think about Ten Hag, and it doesn't change because we've won the cup final. But now's not the time to talk about that for me. He deserves huge credit for what's happened today. Brilliant performance from his team. And, you know, I still think this team needs taking apart. All the things I think are still true to me. But today wasn't about that. It's about beating Man City. It's about winning the FA Cup. And it's history. We haven't won a lot of trophies since Fergie left. What have we won? FA Cup with Van Gaal in 2016, Europa League and League Cup under Mourinho, League Cup last season, and I'm not like City, I don't count Community Shields, and this. So it's only our fourth trophy in 11 years. It's not great, but he's won 2 of them, you know. So brilliant day. Delighted. Well done, boys. Geez, I've done 3 videos today. Sometimes I don't do 3 videos in 2 weeks, and I've ended up doing 3 today. But I know I don't have a huge audience, but I do love doing this, and it's a red letter day for us, isn't it? This today, winning a trophy, and nice to share a bit of time with you on a special day. Enjoy whatever you're doing. Glory, glory, Man United. Up the Reds, Glazers out.